You're listening to Chill Chat, the weekly Chinese language learning podcast that breaks down vocabulary and grammar and provides listening practice through natural conversations about culture, trends, and other useful topics.
Each episode is accompanied by transcripts, so you can follow along with us. Members also have access to weekly guided readings and weekly grammar lessons. Additionally, if you would like to have personalized, one-on-one instruction from Karen, you can book a lesson on italki.
To check out free samples or book a lesson, find the links in the description. 我是 Karen.
我是百威. We are broadcasting from 休斯顿, Texas.
I know you guys miss Bai Wei. It's been a while. Life has been pretty busy. A lot happened for the past month. And I know some of you guys know from my last update that I got a surgery last Monday. So we couldn't record the podcast. But I think right now we are good to go.
We're good to go. Back to normal.
Back to normal. Doing weekly podcast for you guys. And today we're going to talk about something very practical. We're going to talk about how to compliment others in Chinese.
Yeah, this is a really good sort of way to have small talk. And I think a lot of Americans struggle, even as they learn Chinese, with how to make sort of small talk in Chinese. Sometimes you might try to do it in the same way that we make small talk in English in the United States or in the West. But it's slightly different, both for language reasons and for cultural reasons, right?
Yes, exactly. And maybe you just want to give some more specific compliment instead of the general, wow, you're so amazing, you're so pretty, right? Maybe you want to compliment their personality or their clothing or their hair. So how do you do that in Chinese?
Okay.
So let's first talk about what is the cultural difference you notice between American and China when people compliment others?
I feel, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Americans tend to do that more and more randomly. And I think in Chinese culture, it's a bit more subtle and not as overt, maybe?
I mean, there are obviously some general aspects where you can compliment another person, like you can compliment their appearance, their clothing, their personality, or how they did in a certain event, right? Their ability. So let's start with clothing.
Okay.
Is there a difference there, a cultural difference?
I think maybe. And I think this goes back to what I said just a minute ago about, I think Americans tend to do this more, like just in normal, regular small talk. Oh, I like your shoes. Oh, I like your shirt. Something like that. Am I wrong about that? Do Chinese do that pretty commonly as well?
I think in my personal experience, Americans are generally more social, more extroverted. The amount of times when a stranger would approach me and just start small talking, definitely I get it more in America than in China. But when it comes to complimenting clothing, I think I don't notice a difference.
Okay.
So there are some, I think, universal ways. You can't go wrong complimenting their clothing.
Yeah. So what are some common things that, some common ways that Chinese people compliment each other in a sort of normal, everyday small talk scenario?
Okay. So when it comes to clothing, the most useful adjective you can say is 好看. That just means looks good. You can use it for everything, for accessories or clothing or shoes. So you can say 你的鞋很好看.
Your shoes look good. That doesn't necessarily translate to beautiful or pretty, right?
No.
Just means looks good. Okay.
对，你的鞋好看 or 你的衣服好看 or 你的帽子好看 你的包好看 right? So you can't go wrong with 好看 Another way is you can say 我喜欢你的鞋
I like your shoes.
对 So that's the same as in English 我喜欢你的包
I like your bag.
For girls, you can also use 可爱
Cute.
对，比如说你的包好可爱 You might notice we use 好 a bit more That just means 很 But it's the more colloquial word 好可愛 just means 很可愛
Very 可愛
Yes Oh, you can say what they're wearing compliments them
Ooh, how do you say that?
To match is 搭 So you would say your shoes 和你很搭 That means matches you really well
你的鞋和你很你再说一遍
你的鞋和你很搭
你的鞋和你很搭 That's 一声搭对吧 And this just means this thing compliments you. It goes well with you. It fits you well.
Yes
Okay.
You can use it for, again, anything for accessories, for clothing. You can also say a color matches you really well. For example, 我觉得蓝色和你很搭
Blue compliments you well.
Or you look good in blue.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes.
You could say, 这么说 necklace.
项链
项链你的项链和你很搭
谢谢好 So that's about clothing. Another aspect you can compliment somebody, however superficial, is their appearance. You can compliment their hair, their figure. In China, that's actually quite common to compliment on someone's figure. Generally, if you say someone is slim, it's a compliment, most likely.
Okay.
Unless they really emphasize you are really too slim. You need to gain some weight.
Right.
Well, people would actually say that sometimes if you are in a relatively good relationship. So complimenting by saying someone is slim is common in China.
Yeah, this is one of those kind of cultural differences. I feel like in Chinese culture, people are much more straightforward with commenting on appearance, body shape, that kind of thing. That's not like necessarily good or bad. It's just a little bit more taboo, I think, in Western culture.
Okay. Yes. Yes, I noticed that. That is a cultural difference I noticed. If you are in China, you can compliment by saying someone is slim, and that is 瘦.
Show, slim.
Yes. Or thin. So you can say, 哇，你真瘦.
You're very slim. And that's usually has a positive connotation.
Yes.
Okay.
Unless they say, 你太瘦了.
You are too skinny.
多吃点儿.
You need to eat more. Yeah, going back to that cultural difference, you might also sometimes get comments about things about your outward appearance that aren't necessarily positive, but aren't necessarily negative either.
Such as?
Like Chinese people would just comment on, I don't know, your height or the color of your skin or like going back to this thin thing, they might say the opposite. But that's not, I've heard Chinese people say that straightforward to people.
That they're thin?
That they're fat.
Oh.
Yes. But it's not always like a negative thing, really.
Not always.
It's just like a neutral sort of comment, and it's just not as taboo to do that.
No,
as
not
it
as
is
taboo.
In Western culture. Yeah.
Yes. I don't even dare to say the word fat here.
Yeah. It is a little bit more offensive.
Okay. So please don't be offended, my English speaker listeners.
It's okay to say the word fat. It's just if you call someone fat, it's not good.
Okay.
But in Chinese, I've heard that many times. Like, if they're describing someone, they'll say, 那个胖的,你知道吧? Like, 你认识他? Is that not good? Or is that just a neutral sort of comment?
That is probably not positive.
Okay.
If I were to say, I would say it's neutral to negative.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yes. So let's go back to slim. 瘦 is neutral, sometimes positive, sometimes negative. However, if you want to be positive, you can always say 苗条. That's a positive word.
什么意思?
I mean slim.
Oh, okay. Just a synonym?
But it's positive.
苗条.
Yes.
Okay.
So 苗条 is usually always positive.
Okay. 好.
Another word is 匀称.
匀称.
对,匀称 means someone just, the figure is very balanced. Not too thin, not too big, very balanced figure.
A pleasing figure.
Yes, yes. You can say somebody 身材很匀称.
身材很匀称. 啥意思?
That means their physique, their figure is very, just right.
Okay.
Not too big, not too slim.
Okay. 好的.
身材 is your figure.
Okay. 好.
好. So that's also a compliment. If you say, 哦,他的身材我觉得很匀称. That's a compliment.
Okay.
Nowadays, the beauty standards are changing. It is getting more diverse. In the past, being slim, fair skin, and tall is generally considered pretty. Mm-hmm. But nowadays, people are accepting and embracing more diverse physique and appearance.
Mm-hmm.
If someone is a bit chubby, you can say 他们很丰满. That means they're curvy.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
They look sexy and curvy.
Oh, really? So it has a positive connotation.
Yes, 丰满 is positive.
Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Because we're talking about complimenting people, right?
Right.
So if someone's on the bigger side, you can say 他的身材很丰满.
That means like they are on the bigger side, but they have a sort of pleasing figure. They're attractive.
They're curvy.
They're curvy. It's not a negative sort of comment. It is a positive compliment.
Yes.
Okay.
好. And also, you mentioned fat. The word fat in Chinese is 胖. Mm-hmm. That is not as taboo to say in China as in America. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it is positive.
Okay.
So if you say, especially if you say a kid 胖胖的, that means they're chubby and cute.
Yes, I've heard people say that. Yeah, when you say it, anytime you say a adjective twice in Chinese, it gives it this cuteness. Right? And that's usually pertaining to kids, like a little cute fat kid, 胖胖的.
Yes. You can always throw in a 很可爱 there
对
to make it more positive.
对 胖胖的很可爱.
Yeah.
I had another question, kind of going back to talking about the cute kid being 胖胖的. If you want to compliment someone's child, right? It's kind of common to say, oh, your kid is so cute, right? Or 对 你孩子很可爱, right? Are there some other words we can use besides 可爱? Or other words we can use besides 漂亮? Because I feel like those words, it's like the first ones you learn, right? And you get tired of kind of saying them over and over as you make small talk and compliment people. So what are some other synonyms we can use besides, say, 漂亮 and 可爱?
How? That's a great question. If you want to say someone's adorable, really cute, you can also say 萌. That's kind of a slang word.
Okay.
But it's very commonly used. So you can say 他很萌. That means
萌?
Very cute.
Just very cute.
Yes.
Okay.
You can also say a dog 很萌.
So would that be like our adorable versus cute in English, kind of like that?
I think 可爱 and 萌 are the same.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's just an alternative word.
Okay. 好.
One more.
One more for cute? Okay.
Yes, you can also say Q, the letter Q.
I've seen this. This is kind of internet slang, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. 好 Q 啊.
Literally the English letter Q.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you say somebody 好 cute, that means they're really cute.
Okay. And that's a very recently coined Chinese word, quote unquote Chinese word.
Yes. That's right. 好. 漂亮 means pretty. So what are some other words we can say? Like beautiful, gorgeous.
Yeah.
We mentioned 好看, right?
好看,
That's good looking. Mm-hmm. we can say 美, that's beautiful.
Ooh, I love that word. And I like that character too. I think that's one of those characters that really speaks to the meaning of the word. 很美.
Yes.
And you could say the same thing about a vista, right? If you have a beautiful view of the sunset, you can say 很美.
Yes.
As opposed to 漂亮.
Yes, that's right. 美 carries a bit more weight.
Okay.
Than 漂亮. If someone is really beautiful, you can use 美 instead of 漂亮.
Okay. Can I ask a silly one?
Yeah.
So since we're on this subject of 漂亮, 好看, 美, and you said 美 carries a bit more weight than 漂亮, it's kind of like saying gorgeous versus pretty or beautiful, right? Okay. You might laugh at this. How do you say someone is hot?
Like sexy?
Yeah, there you go.
性感.
性感. Okay. Well,
yeah.
That was a quick answer. I thought it was going to be more complicated than that. So that's like the word for sexy, hot. That person's very attractive, like that.
Hot. You can also say 辣.
辣, like spicy. Okay.
Which also means sexy.
Okay.
In Chinese. So if you say somebody is a 辣妹, that means they're a sexy girl, sexy lady. Yes. Okay. Yes.
A 辣妹. All right.
Not necessarily used for men, though. You usually use 辣 for women, but not so much for men.
Okay. So how do you talk about hot men?
性感.
性感.
性感 is gender neutral. Yeah, let's talk about complimenting a man. You wouldn't necessarily use any of these that we mentioned apart from 性感. 性感.
性感 is neutral. And
yes.
It means
sexy.
Very attractive, sexy. Okay.
Yes. For men, you can say 帅.
Oh, yeah, of course. 帅 means handsome. Right?
帅气.
帅气. How?
It's the same thing.
Okay.
英俊.
Okay, this one I've not heard before. 英俊. Okay, so what sort of connotation does this have?
英俊 is just more, it's like 美 and 漂亮, 英俊 and 帅.
Okay.
So it's a bigger compliment, I guess.
All right. So it's saying that man is very attractive. Yeah?
Mainly their appearance.
Right. Oh, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
英俊.
He's very good looking.
Yes. Oh, I totally forget about this one. 阳光. 阳光啥意思啊? 阳光 means someone just sends out a very bright and lively energy. They have great smiles. That's 阳光. They have a young, friendly, energetic energy. Because 阳光 literally means sunlight. Right. But when you use it to describe a person, it is an adjective, meaning someone's very
radiant.
Yeah, sure.
Can this be applied to male or female?
Yes.
Okay. So gender neutral.
Yes.
How?
How? Now we've segued into if you want to compliment somebody's, maybe not looks, but their personality, their vibe, how they present themselves, right? 阳光 is one of those. It describes more their energy. Personality, yes, someone usually very outgoing, loves smiling. And they also look really good when they smile, probably got great teeth.
Charismatic.
Yes.
Maybe.
Oh, charismatic.
I keep just reminding you of stuff.
有魅力.
有魅力 is charismatic.
Yes.
Okay. How do you say someone is very caring? This person is very nice and takes really good care of her animals.
Responsible?
Responsible, but also empathetic, like caring, you know?
Okay.
Wants to take care of people, wants to serve others.
Okay, 好. There are several different words.
Okay.
The first one is 有爱心.
好,有爱心.
That means someone has a very kind heart.
Okay.
They want to care for others, especially animals.
Right.
You can also say somebody 很热心. That means someone's very helpful. They want to help others.
Okay. 好. I've heard that word before, 热心, but I didn't know it meant that. I didn't know it meant helpful. Anyway.
Another word is 体贴.
体贴. 一样的意思吗?
That means thoughtful.
Oh, okay. Thoughtful. 体贴.
Mm-hmm.
好的. How do you compliment someone that they're very confident?
Confident is 自信.
自信,我知道这个. Okay.
So, 他很自信.
对.
They're very confident.
对. 好.
Are there any sentences that you are wondering how to say in Chinese? Because so far we've been covering mostly words, but what are some useful sentences you can just say to a friend or a stranger?
Yeah, so I'm just wondering if you're having just sort of small talk with somebody and you're trying to think of things to say, you want to be nice, you want to give them a compliment. Instead of just saying 我喜欢你的 or 你很 blah blah, I guess what are some sort of smoother, better ways to sort of compliment someone, maybe?
Such as?
Such as, I appreciate how you did this thing. That shows you're very caring. Something like that. I don't know. Or maybe you seem very confident.
You seem is 你看起来.
Okay.
So 你看起来很自信.
Okay. 好的.
对. Or 他给人的感觉很自信.
Okay. He gives people the feeling that he's very confident. Okay. How do you say, like, because I don't know, in English we might say, that was very thoughtful of you, as opposed to saying, you are very thoughtful. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm kind of stuck with Chinese. Like, all I know how to say is, you are very, or I like your, you know, but in English I say it more, and I guess in a more sophisticated way, like, I don't know.
Give me a scenario.
Okay, so you have a colleague at work who you don't think knows you very well. You think, like, you know, you just know them surface level. But then your birthday comes around and they bring you a birthday gift. And you didn't even know that person knew your birthday, right? And that's like just a very thoughtful, caring person that's paying attention to keeping up with whose birthday is when in their workplace. How would you compliment that person?
I wouldn't use any of those words.
Okay.
I would say 你的心好细. 心细 means someone has very delicate feelings and thoughts. They notice details. Again, I feel weird just say 你的心好细 in their face. I might say it in a more shy way. Okay.
Well, like if I was just speaking English in that scenario, I would say, I didn't even know you knew it was my birthday. That was very thoughtful of you. Thank you. You know?
You can say that too. You can say, 哇，你竟然记得我的生日.
What? Okay. This happens in a totally Chinese scenario. What would you say to that?
I have to put myself in that scenario.
No, yes. Like somebody, you didn't even know this person knew you that well. You didn't think they knew your birthday, but they give you a really nice gift. What would you say?
Okay, how I would react is I would be very, very surprised. I would say, 天哪.
Okay.
谢谢. Like, you know, just thank them.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
but let's say you want to compliment how thoughtful they are. Like you are a very thoughtful person. You really want to give them that confidence, make them feel good. What would you say?
I would say, 天哪,谢谢. 你怎么知道今天是我生日?
How the heck did you know it was my birthday?
And then they would give you an answer and I would say, 哇,你的心好细呀.
Ah, okay.
Like that.
Okay, there we go.
Yes.
We finally got there.
Took me a while.
你的心好细哦. Okay, so what exactly does that phrase mean?
Means you really pay attention to details.
There we go. Okay. So that's like saying, that was very thoughtful of you.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I wish there is a universal compliment. I guess there is. You can say, 你好好人哦. That means you're such a good person.
Oh, okay.
Or 你人好好哦. You're such a good person.
Okay. And that has the same sense as in English, like saying 你好好人. That means like you are a genuine, thoughtful, good person.
Yeah, like you're a good person.
All right.
Yes.
Great.
But when it comes to specifics, there isn't really a universal word to use.
Okay.
It's really situation specific.
Okay. Do you want another scenario?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's go to the confident one.
Okay.
Let's say another work scenario. Okay. You and your team at work have to give a presentation to the whole workplace. Okay. And you're not sure who should lead it. Nobody wants to because everybody's afraid of public speaking. And then one person in that group steps up and says, I'll lead it. I'll start the discussion. I'll do most of the talking. Speak on behalf of us. How do you compliment that person saying, you're very brave, you're very confident, I would be so nervous, thank you for doing this? I don't know.
Okay, let me put myself in that situation.
Okay. Like this person has relieved you of having to speak in front of a bunch of people because they're going to do it on your behalf. And you appreciate that. And you want to say, you're so confident.
Well, I would say first, thank you for leading. 谢谢你开场. That means have the opening.
Okay.
哇，谢谢你开场。我刚刚好紧张哦，但是你好自信哦。真棒.
Okay. So
like that.
So you just said, I'm so nervous to speak in front of people. You're very confident. You're awesome.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So you can always, yes, that's another universal compliment. 真棒.
真棒. You're
amazing.
awesome. Yeah.
Yes, amazing. Awesome. Yes. 你真棒. You're awesome, right?
Yep. Well, okay, since we're on that, I have to bring in the word 厉害, because here's another scenario that really happened to me. Okay. Back in, I don't know, what was it, 2017, 18? A friend and I did a long bike ride from Shenzhen to Zhuhai. And when we got to Zhuhai, we stayed in like a bed and breakfast kind of thing, like an Airbnb. And the lady there didn't know we were coming on bicycles. And whenever we told her we rode our bikes all the way from Shenzhen, hundreds of miles, she said, 哇，你厉害，你真厉害. Like, so what exactly is 厉害 and what sort of aura does it put out?
厉害 is more like impressive.
Oh, okay.
You did something that I don't think I could do, or that's really impressive.
Okay.
And that's 厉害.
好的. Because when you translate 厉害in like Pleco or something, it says extreme, I think.
Yes, it sometimes it does mean that.
Okay.
Yeah. 真棒 is a more general compliment. Like, awesome.
Okay. Gotcha. Right. And 厉害 is like impressive. Like you're complimenting someone on like a specific talent or they're doing something very difficult.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's
How
right. Yes. Okay, I think we've talked about some great aspects. First, we talked about someone's clothing. Then we talked about someone's appearance.
How?
And in the end, we mentioned some adjectives to complement someone's personality and vibe. So in the end, I'm going to say a few sentences, full sentences to complement others.
好.
Using the words we mentioned as a review, and Baiwei is going to translate them.
Okay.
好, so starting from their clothing. 你的鞋好看.
Your shoes look great.
黑色和你很搭.
Your clothes complement you well.
黑色和你很搭.
The color black complements you well.
她的身材很匀称.
Her body figure is very pleasant.
Very balanced.
Very balanced. Can
Yes.
I say that again?
Sure.
Her figure is very balanced.
Yes. 你的女儿好萌.
Your daughter is very cute.
哇，这是你的儿子吗？好可爱，胖胖的。
Is this your son? He's so cute and chubby.
OK, 好。我有一个同事，他很辣，又很自信。
I have a very confident and hot colleague.
Oh boy. OK, 好。我的邻居很热心。
My neighbor is very helpful.
你真棒。
You're awesome.
哇，厉害。
Wow, impressive.
我觉得他又阳光又可爱。
I think this person is radiant and cute. Radiant the right word? Big personality, maybe we would say. No?
I think this person is like a beam of sunlight.
Okay.
And they are really cute. Okay, Last one, which is true. What I'm gonna say. 我的婆婆非常体贴。
My mother-in-law is very thoughtful.
对 which is true.
Is thoughtful the right word?
Yes.
Okay.
是的。她很体贴，她的心很细，她很有爱心，很热心 all that.
Very caring, thoughtful, considerate.
Okay.
Yes. 好。
All right. So that wraps up this week's Chill Chat podcast.
好的。
I hope you guys find it helpful. Don't be afraid to use some of the words you learn in this podcast on someone that you really genuinely want to compliment.
And probably pretty good for some small talk as well.
Yes, compliment them. If there's any word you didn't understand, have a look at the transcript.
Or if there's something we didn't mention, a sort of compliment you would like to make to someone, let us know.
Yes. In the end, we're going to give a shout out to our new members.
好的。
We have Ekaterina.
Thank you, Ekaterina.
Spence.
Thank you, Spence.
JP.
谢谢 JP.
Thank you, Farmer.
Thank you, Farmer.
Leo.
谢谢 Leo.
Akos.
Thank you, Akos.
Katie.
Thank you, Katie.
Thank you, Glenn.
谢谢你 Glenn.
Mason.
Thank you, Mason.
Thank you, Mason. Thank you guys so much. 下次再见。
下次再见。